Another bright Saturday afternoon. Brilliant weather for some good running rugby and bringing you live pictures. ThePapare.com from the 10th week of the Dialog Rugby League between Army Sports Club and Kandy Sports Club, the defending champions here at Welisara. It's going to be a cracking encounter. Kandy Sports Club, of course, coming down from Nithawala to not their most favourable venue, the Navy Sports Club grounds here at Welisara, but they'll be taking on the Soldiers, who had quite a decent run last week, beating Air Force. And the Army, of course, coming in with a victory as well, beating CHNFC. Joining me in commentary, Hisham Hamid will run you through this game alongside. Hi, Hisham.
Hi, Yusran. Brilliant, bright, sunny day for open rugby. But like you said, it's a venue which Kandy has struggled throughout the past. But only this time they'll be taking on Army Sports Club, who play their games here. But regardless, they are travelling, Kandy Sports Club. So it'll be a tricky encounter. But without no doubt, Kandy will be favourites for this game overwhelmingly.
Definitely looking at their backline as well. We can see in the warm-up that they're putting in a lot of work, not intense, just adequate amount of warming up for the backs and the forwards. But Army on the other side, quite intense in their warm-up sessions already. Game is due to kick off at 4:15 as we take a look at the weather. 31 degrees, it's quite hot, and it can go down to 28, won't be a big difference, but the wind will play a big factor. 12 kilometers per hour blowing to the west, and it's partly cloudy, but not really. Quite sunny and windy, so I think the kickers will have to be very mindful, Hisham.
Yes, it's an unpredictable venue also with regards to the wind. Currently it's blowing towards the ground from the west, so it'll be interesting to see how the teams understand that and cope with it.
Both teams have made a few changes, key changes. Let's talk about all that when we come back with live action. We'll go for a short commercial break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
අලු සීට් එකක් දැම්ම නම් නරකයි.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
සර්, සර්ගේ පේමන්ට් එක සෙටල් කරන්න තියෙනවා.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න. දෙකෙන් දෙන්න. දෙකෙන් දෙන්න. දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න නම් දෙකෙන් ගන්න ඕනේ. Whatever the need, Ceylon personal loan will be ready for you in just 2 days.
Ceylon personal loan කිව්වා වගේම වැඩ.
Ceylon Bank, the bank with the heart.
உங்கள் கிராமத்தில், உங்கள் நகரில், உங்கள் பிரதேசத்தில் உள்ள வீரர்கள் திறமையானவர்களா? அவளின் திறமைகளை நீங்கள் அறிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டுமா? தமிழ் பேசும் உங்களின் திறமைகளை உலகறியச் செய்யும் உங்களுக்கான யூடியூப் சேனல் www.youtube.com/ThePapare Tamil.
රුපියල් 5කින් මොනවද කරන්න පුළුවන්?
5කින් අපි කමිටුවක් පත් කරනවා. ඒ කමිටුවේ ප්‍රතිඵල ඔබතුමාලාට ළඟදිම ලැබෙන්න සලස්වනවා. තා මොනවාරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද?
රුපියල් 5කින් මොනවද කරන්න පුළුවන්?
உங்கள் கிராமத்தில், உங்கள் நகரில், உங்கள் பிரதேசத்தில் உள்ள வீரர்கள் திறமையானவர்களா? அவளின் திறமைகளை நீங்கள் அறிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டுமா? தமிழ் பேசும் உங்களின் திறமைகளை உலகறியச் செய்யும் உங்களுக்கான யூடியூப் சேனல் www.youtube.com/ThePapare Tamil.
රුපියල් 5කින් මොනවද කරන්න පුළුවන්?
5කින්
අපි කමිටුවක් පත් කරනවා. ඒ කමිටුවේ ප්‍රතිඵල ඔබතුමාලාට ළඟදිම ලැබෙන්න සලස්වනවා. තා මොනවාරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද?
රුපියල් 5කින් මොනවද කරන්න පුළුවන්?
Welcome back to the live action from Welisara, the game between Army Sports Club and Kandy Sports Club here at the Navy Sports Club ground. It's a 10th week encounter and a game that is set and looked forward to by most people because Army Sports Club, of course, beat Kandy last year in the league up at Nithawela, but this time around when they went there, they were massacred 64 points, but looking to turn things around this time in their home venue. Kandy Sports Club should be able to make another securing victory. Joining me in commentary, Hisham Hamid.
Good evening, everyone. Lovely atmosphere here. And there you go, the last week results, the recap. CRNFC coming out on top, beating Havelocks 30 points to 17. Army getting the better of Air Force 28-13. was a tightly contested affair. Kandy running away with a 45-15 over CHNFC. And Police then suffering, you could say, a shock loss against Navy Sports Club, who turned on in style at Police Park.
Definitely, that was a shocker, Hisham. Police, of course, were high running and number 2 on the points table, but that Navy Sports Club, after the injection of, I think, Yoshida Rajapaksa as well, they were able to go into a high scoring game.
Exactly. They have the players, it's just that they have not been gelling together. They sometimes look like they're lacking a proper combination, but I think definitely Yoshida's inclusion has propelled them.
Definitely, there you go. The points table, Kandy Sports Club up on top. easily on top, 9 victories in 9 games, 52 points in total, and trailing from behind Sierra and FC. After yesterday's game, they're still on number 2 with 44, so there's a big gap between 1 and 2, and I think it's safe to say that Kandy are already securing the league for the 7th time round. Police, on the other hand, went one down after their loss against Navy last week. Havelock Sports Club gone down to 4th with 34 points. And Army sitting there on 5th place. Last year they were at 6th in this time. But this time around they are on 5th. CH and Air Force at the bottom of the table. So things not looking that good for Army Sports Club. But you never know, with these soldiers, they can come in to surprise you.
Exactly. Well, we don't need any prizes for guessing. Kandy Sports Club will be definitely be the overwhelming favourites here. But it's all about how Army approach the game, what kind of a start they can get. And there you go, the top try scorer for the league. In the lead is Jandu Dilshan, 12 tries. What a performance by this young man.
His first proper league, and he's already scored 12 tries. So kudos to him. And on the other side, the top point scorer from Kandy Sports Club with 78 points, overtaking Riza Mubarak, the veteran, is Tarinder Ratwatta. He has been very secure with his boot, and also he's been among the try scorers. So he's playing a vital role in Kandy Sports Club success after moving there from Sierra FC.
Well, his impact is massive.
Another key game that will be played out today at Police Park is the game between the Cops and the Pink Army. It will be at Police Park, so you can watch it live on ThePapare.com as well. In the first round encounter between those two teams, Police got the better, but so far Police not going so well. It will be a tough battle.
Well, yes, so we are eagerly awaiting both teams to enter the field. And like you said, Yusran, like you pointed out, it was interesting to see how both teams prepared for this game. Kandy were not in an intense mood, but Army, on the other hand, were really digging in to their warm-ups.
Definitely, and if we could take a look at how the game fared in the first round between these two teams up at Nithawela, Kandy just took the game away in the early minutes of the game, where they scored 3 tries consecutively in quick succession, and then in the second half they just massacred the soldiers. They piled up a total of 64 points. All of the backs got their name on the scorecard. Buddhima Piyaratna, of course, scoring a hat-trick in that game. Kamindu Pereira, Tarinder Ratwatta, Lavanga Pereira, all these players getting the better of the Army backs.
Well, that has been one of Kandy's key strengths, isn't it? Kamindu Pereira and Buddhima Piyaratna. What an inclusion they have been to this Kandy side.
It's they're making it seem as if they're not missing one of their key players, Vijay Singh. They're doing really well to fill his boots, especially Tarinder Ratwatta, Srinath Surya Bandar, and most of the backs who could play as utility backs. Army, of course, came into the game in the second half. They almost thought they had it, but Kandy were just far too strong for them to hold on or give any sort of chance. Let's take a quick look at the team cards. Army Sports Club, Ranjan Jayaratna, Shanaka Lakma, Shehan Silva, Nalaka Maduranga, Nalan Premanath, Manoj Vikramachi, Uppul Abhiratna, former skipper, and Danaka Vijayatilaka will compile that forward 8. Chamath Fernando, Ashan Bandar will be that 9-10 combination, and Sri Lanka cap 7's cap Sudarak Kumbara will combine with Tomasi in the backs, while former captain Tusita Sena Nayaka and Danushka Thalbatta along with Isuru Methagedara will make it to that starting 15.
There we go, the Kandy starting lineup. Ashan Darling, Damit Disanayakar, Charles Praveen in the front row, Shehan Patirona, Shabir Mohammed, Tarun Chaturanga and Deshan Disanayakar making up the front 8, and Buanago Dangamwa, the all ever present number 8, manning his position, his customary position. Roshan Veeratna will start. Interestingly, Srinath Surya Bandara will start as fly half today. Buddhima Piyaratna, Tarinder Ratwatta, Lavanga Pereira, Kavindu Pereira and Danush Dayan complete the starting 15 for Kandy.
So many changes, Isham, especially with Srinath coming to that number 10. It's a vital position. In the past, we've seen the likes of Nigel Ratwatta, Fazil Marijan, key players stick to that position. And Srinath Surya Bandara, will be a milestone for him starting in that number 10 position, because he's usually known for his halfback skills, but I think it's a brilliant move by coach Fazil Marija to put his experience into the game as well, Srinath Suraban. And another key change that I saw from the Army Sports Club is that Henry Terence, the veteran and now coach of Army, assistant coach of the forwards coach, has also been named in that team card as a front row substitute. And the official for today with the blowing duties, Akil Jamaldeen alongside Ishank Abekon and Chamara Simula Piti as his assistant referees. Akil has been a very consistent, good referee in this Dialog Rugby League. And it's good to see that he'll be blowing this game as well. So we can expect a fast-flowing game of rugby. With their final prayers now, Army Sports Club. Tomasi, a key player. You could clearly see the difference in physicality. He stands out from the rest in the number 12 jersey. So Army Sports Club will be kicking off from right to left. Making it to the starting 15 is Shehan Patinana, who missed out last week's game due to an injury. Nigel Ratwat still not fit enough to start. Another key player starting, Charles Praveen, in that all-important tight head position, filling in for Ganuka Disanayaka. So few changes coming in. Yet to start the game. Looking for a ball.
The players are in the park, but they forgot the match ball. They need to get things sorted out quickly. Seems like another team have got themselves a match ball as well. They're heading right back into the sheds to get a match ball.
Finally, the ball is arriving. And now we're just a few moments away from kickoff. Ashan Bandara lining up to kickstart proceedings. Jamaldeen with the first whistle, deep kick by Ashan Bandara. Roshan Viraratna collects it cleanly, returns the favor with a big kick. Doesn't go past the half line, but takes them out of the 22. Still not out of danger though, Kandy Sports Club.
Yes, perfect positioning for Army here. They can test the Kandy defense early on, just outside the 22. Army has a supporters arriving into the ground. And of course, Yusran, Army must make sure they get their set pieces right against Kandy. Kandy has shown tremendous improvement this season. They've been so deadly in their set pieces. But can they defend their own?
So the first line out of the game, Ashan Bandara, slow ball straight away to Talvatta. Goes barging in. And now once again, Premanath carries the ball forward using their big props. Ashan Bandara tries to go on his own, slices through, just held on by the jersey, taking the ball inside the 22 now. Premanath once again barking instructions to his forwards. Goes past the gain line. Good tackle there by Disanayaka. Tries to steal the ball and Upula Beratna sees the space, cuts back inside. Slowly but surely inching forward. Now Bandara to Tusuna Nayak, and now the Kumbara has space on the outside. That will be the first try for Army Sports Club in their first set piece movement. Like you said, they held on to possession and it ended up in a try.
Brilliant boom, Miami. Their forwards did the hard stuff, grinded out a few yards, bought play inside the 22, and then the ball was spread out to their backs. Brilliant move by Army, and this is what we talked about. Their warm-up, the intensity, they maintain it right to the kickoff, and they score first.
And what a better finisher than Sudharak Dikumbara, who's full of experience and full of speed. Beating one defender is not a big task for that man. Straight away he goes over to score the first try, and Kandy under immediate pressure. Take another look at that. Tusita Senanayaka. Buddhima Piyaratna, I think, made that initial error. He was sucked inside. Should have given the fullback to take, given the fullback duties to tackle Tusita Senanayaka and stick to his own man. He was sucked inside, which created that overlap, gave Dick Kumbura enough space to go over the line.
Isuru Madagedara taking up the kicking duties for today. Fairly difficult kick. He's got to adjust to the wind as well. Lines it up. Looks good. Drifts inside. Brilliant kick. Brilliant start for Army.
Brilliant kick, Hisham indeed. Bisected the post. Now Kandy with their first restart. Tarinder Atwatta, let's take another look at that kick from the corner. Very basic lineup. 2 steps ahead and slots it in like a no-brainer. And now Tarinder Atwatta will put in a high-hanging kick. Upula Beratna goes to the touchline. So a brilliant kick by Ratwatta gives his team enough yardage or enough territory to spark up something.
Well, the positive thing for our Kandy Sports Club is that these setbacks are the easiest to recover because it's happened so much early in the game, so much rugby left to play. So Kandy, nothing to worry. They just need to stick to their basics here and they can start from this line out. Damit Disanayaka, brilliantly done. They set it up for a maul. No, they spread it out early.
Jason Disanayaka with the ball carrying duties, and now they're using their backs. Buddhima Piratna steps inside, but good tackle on him. Dhanush Dayan caught up in heavy traffic. Quick to secure that truck though. The Kandy forwards doing quite well. Surya Ratthi still getting comfortable in his new position. Number 10, Roshan switches directions. Kavindu Pereira on the outside, puts in the fend. Keeps the ball alive, but Buddhima Piratna knocks it forward in the process. So the first scrum of the game will be in favor of Army Sports Club.
Well, that just shows you how dangerous Kandy can be out on the wing. Buddhima Piratna and Kavindu Pereira, they've got that X factor in them. They can spark something out of nothing. Just couldn't hold on to the ball, and that time.
Like you said, Buddhima and Kavindu, they have that signature hip sway that allows them to slice through any defense line. I think it's quite important for a winger to have that quality. Now Chamat Fernando with his first put in. Next to him is the most experienced scrum half, Roshan Veeraratne. Tomasi, big tackle on him by Tarinder Atwatta. And now Ashan Bandar with the clearance. Brilliant kick. The ball bounces in play, so Kavindu Pereira has an opportunity. Sends the ball to Dhanush Dayan, who spots space at the back. Madagedara allows it to bounce. Quite a risky move. Good tackle on him by Buddhima Piratna. 1-on-1. Tomasi acting, Ashan Bandar rather acting as the scrum half. The forwards securing the ball. Tomasi asks for it. Puts a big kick, but smothered there by Charles Praveen. And now Ashan Bandar trying to recover things. Scattered bit of play. Buddhima Piratna tries to step out. Doesn't find his footing, and now Kandy still on the attack. Ashan Darling goes straight into contact. Tusila Nayaka almost stealing that ball, and Shabir Mohammed takes 2 to bring him down. Brilliant work there by the Army defenders in the ruck. Quick on their feet. Almost intercepted there by Tomasi. And Kavindu Pereira breaks free and he cuts back inside, and this will be the first try for Kandy Sports Club. Under the post he goes. Brilliant work, fancy footsteps, and sparks the first try for Kandy.
That's what he is all about, and you just mentioned his trademark hip, the swing of the hip, and easy as that, he just goes under the post, and all that pressure came from that casual kick by Army's Tomasi.
Definitely a really casual kick. Unwanted, I think. Should have given the experience Ashan Bandara. This is the try. Fended off the first defender. Outpaced the other and then just stepped back inside. Beat him with pace. Let's go down to the post. Tarinder Ratwatta will take on the kicking duties. Fairly easy kick for his standards. And Yaqub Ali will make it into the game early on as Ratwatta slots the extra 2, so it's all equalized now here at Welisara. 7 points all as a Kandy forward has been substituted.
It seems like a blood injury, so I'm assuming Damit Disanaika will be back. Sorry. And also, if you would go back to that move, Yusran, I think some credit is due to Buddhim Piratna, because I think he was put under a little bit of pressure by Roshan Veeratna, who just threw out a pass, but he did well, stepped his way through, set it up, and then the ball was sent across to the other side of the park, and Kavindu Pereira doing his magic.
Definitely. He did well to keep on and hold on to possession rather, as Ashan Bandara puts it out on the full. So a centre scrum for Kandy Sports Club, and I think Army are under a certain amount of pressure, although the points are the same.
Well, it seems that momentum has shifted back in favour of Kandy early on after that early setback, and that's the mistake. The mistake at the restart is just what Kandy Army didn't want. They've got to make sure they're in this game throughout if they are to achieve anything out of this game, because you know, and you've already seen what Kandy are capable of. Just little things, it's enough for them to spark something. And here we go, centre field scrum. Roshan Veeratna with the feed in. Solid scrum by Kandy.
Picks it up and now he goes forward, takes 3 men to bring him up, still on his feet. Great ball carried by the Bulldogs in Goa. Srinath Surya Bandara showing his fancy footwork, tries to get past the first defender. Yaqub Ali with his first touch. Long cutout pass. Lavanga Pereira marshals his way through. Roshan Veeratna once again running out of options. Puts in a wayward pass, is coming to Pereira, recovers it in the corner. Tarinder and Yaqub Ali carrying the ball forward. They're trying to force that overlap in the corner, swinging the ball both ways and sucking in the defenders, but it looks like Kandy will be awarded a penalty. They have 2 options. And they'll go for the most recent infringement by Army Sports Club. I think that was high tackle.
So the referee will leave it as that. Just an early warning. Keep low. Ratwatta. Good kick. Brings his team inside the red zone. Perfect position now for Kandy to launch another attack. So Yaqub Ali will be assuming the throwing duties. Damit Disanaika is still out.
Kandy very strong in their set piece moves. Taken safely by Shayan Patirana. Now forming that rolling maul, which they did not earlier. This time opting to go with the forwards. Army doing well. The transition is made and the ball is lost. So Kandy has lost possession. And Army now with an attempt to get out of jail. Not a good kick. Danush Dayan. Not a clean collection, but it bounces backwards, so play will continue. Buddhima Piyaratna tries to step straight through that defense line, but brought down. Now Roshan Veeratna, a lot of pressure on him in that scrum. Tomasi trying to hold Tarinder Ratwatta up, but Tari just too strong. Goes down. Brilliant work rate there by the Fijian. Makes tackle after tackle, and now Suri steps inside. goes into heavy contact and Upul Aberatna rips the ball off, but illegally, says the referee, so another penalty awarded to Kandy.
So another penalty rather for Kandy. Buddhamapiratna in discussion with the referee. And Tarinder Ratwata, it seems, will punt this out for touch. Should be able to gain pretty good ground here. In fact, the commentator says it's not a good kick.
Not a good kick. Didn't find the right footing. And on the other side, Police Sports Club leading 5 points to nothing against Havelock at Police Park. So Police known for their early try scoring opportunities.
Well, that will be an interesting encounter because Havelocks will be surely coming into this game to avenge that defeat they suffered at the hands of the policemen at Havelock Park. So Kandy with the line out. Damit Dissanayake is back in. Was that a knock forward by Army? No, says the referee. It's play on. Kandy still with possession. Ball is with their forwards. No way through. The ball has been knocked forward. Ball is thumped down the field. Kavindu Pereira collects it. But since there is no advantage, referee will bring back play. And it'll be another scrum for Army.
The Soldiers just not capitalizing on the opportunities yet. They're under a little bit of pressure. But I think at this level of rugby, you have to be able to capitalize and pounce on every opportunity you're getting. We saw them do that in the first few minutes of the game. It resulted in a try. But since then, Army just has not found their rhythm. But on the other hand, Kandy working a lot hard. Now Talvatta from the back, carrying the ball forward. Nicely done. Still with possession now, the Soldiers. Ashan Bandara spots space, puts in a cross kick to Sudaraka Dikumbura, who collects it cleanly. But good tackle on him by Buddhimapiratna, and Tomasi breaks free. Tarinder Ratwata puts in the offload. And now Madagedara, Dikumbura once again. Spots the space, and Army have done brilliantly to come into the opposition half, especially Dikumbura along with Ashan Bandara and Tomasi, the three key roles in Army Sports Club working together to bring this team forward. This was the infringement though by Lavanga Pereira, intentionally knocking the ball on.
And just before that, I think Yusran, brilliant work by Tarinder Ratwata. Didn't let go of Tomasi, held him. And then when the offload was popped, brilliant work by Srinath Surya Bandara, who was brilliantly aware of what the problem was and just knocked it back. And then saved the day for Kandy. A possible try-saving situation.
Definitely try-saving situation there. So good rugby all round. As Army lose possession from the line out. Surya Bandara to Tarinder Ratwata. And now Buddhimapiratna, Lavanga Pereira rather, has support but tackled. Hold, keeps the ball on. Sets play up as Ratwata puts in a cheeky inside ball to Charles Pravin, who carries the ball forward. Buena Gudangamu, not a clean collection but still recovers well. Strong on his feet, presents the ball nicely. Surya Bandara to Buddhimapiratna. Once again, not received clearly, but they're doing well to recover possession. But they have to hold on. Brilliant tackle on Ashan Darling by his opposite number.
Brilliant hands by the Kandy forwards. Not the best of passing, but still they managed to keep the ball alive. Jason Dissanayake joins the wing. Brilliant done by Danush Dedan. Kavindu Pereira almost through. Still Kandy with position. It's Roshan Veeraratne. Finds Srinath Surya Bandara. He's brought down. Referee playing advantage. Several infringements there, I think, and the referee will award a scrum for the knock forward in the end. But they just need to make sure those passes are clean, and that will be causing a lot of problems for Army.
Yeah, although Kandy played in brilliant phases, they just didn't put in the right passes or the right collection. So many drop balls. They were fortunate enough that it all fell backwards. Had the ball just gone forward, would have been Army's ball. So Kandy, although they're showing brilliant, consistent retention of possession, they're just not getting things right with the execution. Nevertheless, still with possession, and Roshan Veeraratne will feed in with another put in. And Kavinda Pereira is set to act as the first receiver. The blind side is open.
Kandy has been deadly with their set piece moves. Here we go. Roshan Veeraratne. Inside pass to Tarindra Ratwatta. Nowhere through, but he's still going. Brilliant strength by Ratwatta. Taken down eventually. And Veeraratne looking for the ball. Here's Shehan Lema Pathirana taking it into contact. Veeraratne to Srinath Surya Bandara. Dhanush Dayan. Tackle. And it's a penalty for Army.
Dhanush had to let go of that ball. Brilliant tackle there by Tomasi. Made the tackle, showed daylight, and quick to get into the action in the ruck, tried to steal position, and Dhanush Dayan, of course, the unfortunate ball carrier who just didn't let go of that ball, conceding a penalty, giving away position. As Tomasi, effortless kicks, Hisham.
Well, yeah. And like you said, he just stands out in that Army team. There you go. Right hand corner.
In the 20th minute, the water break for the teams. So far in the 20 minutes, we've seen both teams take a shot at each other, and hence the score stands at 7 points all. And I think Kandy have taken the upper hand. And also, if you're not subscribed, make sure you do. ThePapare.com. You can watch all your favorite games exclusively on Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, ThePapare.com. So subscribe to watch live sports, just 5 rupees. Coming up soon, you'll be able to watch brilliant live pictures. All you have to do is visit www.thepapare.com/live. You'll be able to find yourself a member of ThePapare.com with just 2-3 clicks away.
Well, so far, the first quarter or the first half of the game, rather, I think Army will be pretty pleased with how things have been going. Scores are still equal. Kandy, on the other hand, will just need to make sure they got those passing, the direction of the pass right. So it'll be a line out time for Army, just inside their half. It's crucial that they get this right. Yuzran. They do.
First things first, they get the line out right, and now they're forming that rolling ball. They know to be good at it, making the transitions, but Kandy just very strong, not letting them go straight through. Bula Veeraratne there, securing that ruck in the front. Not a good pass by Chamat Fernando. And that'll be a penalty, rightfully so awarded to Kandy Sports Club. Ashan Bandara is at the back. We can take another look at that. We can tell you clearly what happened. So this was the pass by Chamath Fernando. Not cleanly taken by, I think the call was right. Sudhar Dikumara knocked it on. And then Ashan Bandar, who was in front of him, collected it. So a good call by Jamaldeen. Although the Army players were a bit unhappy with the decision.
Well, Yashasran, I think it's the correct call by the referee there. It didn't look so for the spectators because the Army player was moving forward. But in the end, it's a correct call. And now Kandy, of the ensuing penalty, go for the line out. It's stolen, but Damit Disanayaka recovers well. I think was knocked forward. But the play will go on. Veeratna to Surya Bandara. Cut out pass to Ratwatta. Here's Buddhimapaya Ratna stepping out. Here's Dhanush Dayan, has Kavindu Pereira on the wing. Steps inside, still going Kavindu Pereira. Eventually brought down. Veeratna to Surya Bandara. Here's Darling, trying to bustle his way through. Veeratna once again to Dangamua. Here's Praveen Charles. 5 meters away from the try line. Veeratna once again to Surya Bandara. Lovely bit of play. Surya Bandara finds the pass. Brilliant try. Jason Disanayaka will scroll through under the post. Brilliant hands by Kandy. And that's what Srinath Surya Bandara brings to a team. Brilliant footwork, brilliant vision. Held it long enough and then set out the pass. Jason Disanayaka did the rest. Kandy in the lead. Here we go. Srinath Surya Bandara, change of direction. Fends off the tackle. Just managed to get that pass right. And Jason Disanayaka collects it and goes under the post. Brilliant try by Kandy. Ratwatta should get this spot on. Easy kick. Rightfully done. And Kandy in the lead. 14 points to 7. Nalaka Maduranga, the Army second row, seems to be needing a bit of medical attention, but he's okay. He's on his feet. So now Army need to come back strong. And this is what we spoke about. Making sure you get your chances, making sure that you don't keep the basics right. When you're playing against this Kandy team, you've got to make sure you bring your A game. You can't be lackadaisical. And just like that, Kandy now in the lead. So Ashan Bandara with the restart. Long kick. Veeratna lets it go. And there will be, play will be brought back to the center field. So far, Army failing with both the restarts. And Kandy will now have a center field scrum. And if you have been following them throughout the season, you would know this is dangerous time for Army. They've got to make sure they read out how Kandy sets up here. They've been so brilliant with their set piece moves. They've scored some brilliant tries throughout this season. Interesting to see what the shots will be. So it's just Buddhimapaya Ratna, who's positioning himself towards the right of the field. The rest on towards the left. Udangamua breaks on the other side. Veeratna puts the boot in. Buddhimapaya Ratna in chase. Not the best of communication by the Army players. So it'll be eventually a line out for Army. So the ground is a bit hush as the home support be fairly dejected. After a good start, they find themselves trailing.
Yeah, brilliant work for that second try by Srinath Surya Bandara and Jason Disanayaka. brilliantly timed pass that was, as the Army now try to maul their way through into the opposition half. Still moving forward. Referee calls it once. Play will continue now. Ashan Bandara. The clearance kick, but just doesn't find touch. Buddhima allows the ball to bounce and he has space on the outside. Tries to slice on his own. Needs support. Still on his feet. Puts in the offload and now coming to Pereira once again on the outside. Cuts back inside but just caught up in a brilliant tackle there by Tusisena Naika. And Kandy now have an advantage coming in their way. Shabir Mohammed trying to barge through. Lavang acting as the scrum half. Lema to Danush Dayan. Buddhima Piyaratna with the goose step. Beats the Dikumbura. But did he score the try is the question. Yes, he did. So third try coming in for Kandy Sports Club in the far corner. And just like that, Kandy will go up by another 5-pointer.
Well, that's what they've been doing so well this season. And their in-form wingers, Kavindu Pereira and Buddhima Piyaratna, causing all sorts of problems. And Army just can't cope with them. And Buddhima Piyaratna so far has had a brilliant game. Adds another try into his account for this season. Here we go. Dansha Dayan. Brilliant pass and then the brilliant step by Buddhima Piyaratna. Good strength. Takes him over the try line.
But I just think Sudhar Dikumbura should have done a little better than that, Hisham. Instead of waiting for the ball carrier to come towards him, he should have gone forward and made the tackle up front. But he allowed Buddhima to come in with pace, which allowed him to go over the line, although he made the tackle. So a little bit of lethargic work there by Dikumbura as a warning sign. So Kandy as Kavindu Pereira wobbles off in the sideline. And in fact, he has been substituted as Diluksha Dange makes it into the field early in this game.
Well, it's not a good sign when you lose a player, especially in the caliber of Kavindu Pereira so early in the game, but let's hope it's not anything serious. It's just a precaution. And the former Trintian, Dange, enters the field. Good opportunity for the youngster to get some minutes under his belt. Army, who have been so far not the best with their restarts, have another chance to amend themselves. They've got to make a comeback into the game. And unfortunately there, Lema, with the sun straight at his face, just couldn't collect. Drops it cold. And Army now with a scrum just outside the 22. So here's their chance to put some pressure. Tamit Disanaika talking to his front row forwards, just making sure everything is all right. It's just just a one-off mistake. So what can Army come up with here? Good position, just outside the 22. Samat Fernando with the feed in. Referee wants the front row to be steady. Wants the space. Making sure he's heard out. Jamaldeen. Referee Jamaldeen making sure his instructions are very clear. Samat Fernando with the feed in. Gets the ball out. It's Bandara. Brilliant pass. Finds his man. Still going. Army into the Kandy 22. Samat Fernando looking for players. Long pass. Referee playing advantage, possibly for offside. Army still with possession. 5 meters out from the try line. Buoneko Dangamo doing well there to hold the Army march. Brilliant defense by Damit Dissanayake, driving the Army player back. Chamat Fernando finds Tomasi, trying to go himself, still going. Army retain possession. Chamat Fernando needs to get this ball out quickly. It's Nalaka Maduranga who takes it into contact. Trying to go through their forwards. Army, they just need to make sure they make this count. Tomasi Kakosau going through once again, but held up by the Kandy players. So close to the try line. This is the closest they have been after scoring that first try. Driven back, almost lost the ball. Have they turned over? No, Army still with possession. Once again they go to Nalaka Maduranga, who takes it into contact. Eventually we know that this ball will come out to the backs, but no, it seems they're still going with the forwards. Upulabe Ratna taking it into contact, but have they lost it forward? I think they did lose it forward, so the referee will come back for the advantage, and I think that was for the offside. So interesting call here. Will Army go for the line out, or will they go for the 3 points? Still very much early in the game.
I think with a whole half remaining, I think a 3-pointer wouldn't hurt them. But they won it all, Hisham. So they're going for a scrum, and I think with the standard of their backline, along with the Fijian and Sudaragadi Kumbura, Madagedera, all these players combining together, I think they could breach this Kandy defense line. And it's not a very deep setup, not a deep formation from the Army team. By the looks of how they've formed, I think Tomasi is set for a crash ball. But it'll all depend on how Ashan Bandara feeds him. So clear. And now Tomasi puts in a loop to Ashan Bandara. Sudarak Dikumra on the outside, cuts back inside, has space. And he will just be pulled up before scoring that try. And the assistant referee has spotted something. Just inches away now. The forwards trying to do their thing. But Kandy defense in the fringes. Carrying the ball forward. The number 5. Premanath. Ever so close, but brilliant work here by Kandy as well. The defending equally well. Upula Beratna. Bodies on the floor now. Chamat Fernando trying to fox the defense. But Tarindu Chaturanga does well to keep him up. And the referee will call back play for the initial infringement in the scrum, intentionally collapsing. So they could take it quickly. He does so and goes straight into contact, barging forward. Danuka Vijay Tilaka, as Madagedera feeds the forwards, acts as the scrum half. Charles Pravin, the big tackle, and now feeding the backs. Tomasi will put in the ball to Danuka. In fact, that's Danushka Talvatta who scores the try in the far corner. So Kandy just breached in their defense line, and Army scored their second try and back in the game now.
Oh, well, back in the game. They opted for the scrum initially off the penalty. They didn't go for 3 points, but they back it up with a try, so they're right back in the game. Brilliant stuff there, and good work by Tomasi Kakosau, setting up his teammate there for a try. And of course, it's still early in the game, but it'll be a crucial conversion here. Difficult kick, but invaluable 2 points. Here we go. Tomasi Kakosau running across, attracts 2 defenders and then sends it out wide.
Once again, it was Buddhima Piyaratna who was inside, not sticking to his man. So I think Buddhima has to work on his defense quite a lot. So second occasion that he's sucked in and he's been substituted. So fresh legs in the park early on for Kandy.
Well, he's got to make sure, like he should work on his drift defense. That is where he has been caught suspectful. And he is being replaced, so whether it's a tactical replacement or an injury concern, we'll have to wait. Well, we have to see. But the two Kandy wing three quarters who have started this game brightly are both being taken off, and the kick is just drifts away at the last moment. So it's 19 points to 12 in favor of Kandy.
Shamika Pereira and Diluk Shadange, the two new wingers. Tarindra Ratpat setting things up for the restart. Army back in the game. Just 7 points behind. If they could score back to back, this would mean that they are showing their fighting spirit as Jason Dissanayake thumps the ball back and Shabir Mohammed collects it. So they have possession, but the passes still not looking good as Dhanush Dayan tries to work his way, but Tomasi just not letting that happen as Charles Praveen barges forward, and Tomasi once again putting his body on the line. Ashan Darling needs support. Just one man in the ruck as Tarindra Ratpatta steps inside and now has inside support, and that will be almost the try for Shamika Pereira. Under the post, and the try has been scored. Jason Dissanayake scoring his second. So immediately from the restart, Kandy have gone on to put another 5 points on the board.
That's what champion teams do. When you're under pressure, when you've just conceded, you strike right back. Brilliant move by Ratwatta to start it all off. Evading tackles and then going straight through. Found, here we go, Ratwatta, brilliantly done. And then looking for support. I think that was Dange, who he had in support. Just couldn't get through the try line. Almost there. And then Jason Dissanayake just managed to finishing it off, and that's his second try of the game. So Kandy distancing themselves on the scoreboard once again. And Ratwatta with another fairly easy conversion should be able to put this through. And yes, he does. So Kandy, a fairly commanding lead, and there you go on the pictures, the injured skipper Nigel Ratwatta still nursing that wrist injury.
Army Sports Club, still a lot more work to do now. Ashan Bandar this time around with a high hanging kick, not so deep. Jason Dissanayake, the try scorer, collects it cleanly, fends off the first defender, goes to ground, and now Srinath Surya Bandara feeds Shehan Patirana, who carries the ball forward, looks for an offload but opts to hold on as Tanu Chaturanga, last week's Dialog Rugby player of the match, today as well, continuing that good performance. And Dhanush Dayan, big tackle on him. So far Suri has been doing a pretty decent job at his new position. Now are the backs combining. Shamika Pereira rather. Buddhima Piyaratne makes his way back into the field. I think it was a blood injury earlier on, so he makes his way back as a Buena Gudangambo has a run for it. Srinath Surya Bandara, I think instincts. He goes straight into that truck as the scrum, and now Jason almost bundled into touch. Does well to stay in play and keep the ball alive as Roshan feeds Suri once again. Suri puts in a cheeky pass off the elbow, off the shoulder, says the referee, so it's play on. And now Vijay Thilaga to his winger. A wayward pass though, so he'll have to set things up. In the corner, Kandy have to be mindful in defense, almost rushing. Army on the other hand, they've been putting in some wayward passes. Chamath Fernando has to play the ball fast. Upula Beratna goes straight into contact. Chamath once again looking for options. Ashan Bandara switches direction. Now Kandy have knocked it on, so Army would have an advantage. Still possession, so a scrum down in favor of Army after a very scrappy passage of play, Hisham.
Well, so the ball handling, you could say, has been good, but it's the passing accuracy which both teams need to work on. And as referee Akil Jamaldeen calls for half time, so both teams have things to work on, even though Kandy in a commanding lead, 26 points to 12.
There you go, halftime confirmation, 26 points to 12. The visiting team and the defending champions Kandy Sports Club ahead, almost easily ahead, but you never know with this Army team. Quite hard to predict. The highlights of the first half, Ashan Bandara put in a very deep kick which put a lot of pressure on Roshan Veeraratne, and then from there, from the set piece, Army just used their backs, used Sudaraka Dikkumbura, scored that first try in the opening minute of the game, and Madagedara made no mistake with the conversion from a very difficult angle. He put Army 7 points up, but that didn't stop Kandy from showing who they really are. Kavinda Pereira unleashed his maximum speed in the corner and then cut back inside to score Kandy's first points and draw first blood, as Thainda Ratwatta added the extra too easily, and then Srinath Surya Bandara combining with Jason Disanayaka scored another brilliant try under the post. That was 2. And Kandy almost immediately scored another through Buddhima Piyaratna, who I think did very well to go the line. And then just before half time, Army were able to add another 5 points to their scorecard and narrow the gap between the two teams. But then immediately from the restart, Tharindra Ratwatta managed to take his team forward, slice through that gap, and Dilush Dange alongside Jason Disanayaka, who carried the ball over the white, was scoring his second try. Ended up the first half with a 26-point cushion to 12 rather, by the home team. So stay logged to ThePapare.com. We'll bring you live action from the second half, so don't go anywhere.
වෙඩින් එකට තාම හොටෙල් එකවත් බුක් කරලා නැහැනේ.
දෙකින් දෙන්නම් සුදු.
අලු සීට් එකක් දැම්ම නම් නරකයි.
දෙකින් දෙන්නම්. දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න. දෙකෙන්.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න නම් දෙකෙන් ගන්න ඕනේ. Whatever the need, Ceylon personal loan will be ready for you in just 2 days.
සිලාන් පර්සනල් ලෝන් කිව්වා වගේම වැඩ.
Ceylon Bank, the bank with a heart.
වෙඩින් එකට තාම හොටෙල් එකවත් බුක් කරලා නැහැනේ.
දෙකින් දෙන්නම් සුදු.
අලු සීට් එකක් දැම්ම නම් නරකයි.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්නම්. දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න. දෙකෙන්.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න නම් දෙකෙන් ගන්න ඕනේ. Whatever the need, Ceylon personal loan will be ready for you in just 2 days.
සිලාන් පර්සනල් ලෝන් කිව්වා වගේම වැඩ.
Ceylon Bank, the bank with a heart.
වෙඩින් එකට තාම හොටෙල් එකවත් බුක් කරලා නැහැනේ.
දෙකින් දෙන්නම් සුදු.
අලු සීට් එකක් දැම්ම නම් නරකයි.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්නම්. දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න. දෙකෙන්.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න නම් දෙකෙන් ගන්න ඕනේ. Whatever the need, Ceylon personal loan will be ready for you in just 2 days.
සිලාන් පර්සනල් ලෝන් කිව්වා වගේම වැඩ.
Ceylon Bank, the bank with a heart.
உங்கள் கிராமத்தில், உங்கள் நகரில், உங்கள் பிரதேசத்தில் உள்ள வீரர்கள் திறமையானவர்களா? அவளின் திறமைகளை நீங்கள் அறிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டுமா? தமிழ் பேசும் உங்களின் திறமைகளை உலகறியச் செய்யும் உங்களுக்கான யூடியூப் சேனல் www.youtube.com/ThePapare தமிழ்.
රුපියල් 5කින් මොනවද කරන්න පුළුවන්?
5කින් අපි කමිටුවක් පත් කරනවා. ඒ කමිටුවේ ප්‍රතිඵල ඔබතුමාලාට ළඟදිම ලැබෙන්න සලස්වනවා. තා මොනවාරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද?
රුපියල් 5කින් මොනවද කරන්න පුළුවන්?
Welcome back to live action here at Welisara. The game between Army Sports Club and Kandy Sports Club here at Welisara. So far, Kandy taking the lead 26 points to 12. Army just scoring 2 tries, one in the opening minute and one in the closing minute. But it's been a fantastic 40 minutes of rugby, especially the Kandy backs who've been quite instrumental. So now Kandy to restart the game for the final half from right to left as Tanindra Ratwatta lines up for the restart. Not many changes in both teams. So the coaches opting to go with the same team. Army still a lot to work for. Jason Dissanayake knocks it on in an attempt to push the ball back. So Army with an early opportunity, but still not out of danger in their own half. A lot of work to do. A lot relies on that man Tomasi, the Fijian. His work rate has been unmatched so far, considering the rest of his teammates in the Army Sports Club. He's been making tackles, stealing possession. As Vijay Thilaga now, big tackle on him by Tharindu Chaturanga, tries to hold him up. It doesn't move an inch. Chaturanga gets him up front. And now looking for the clearance kick. Madagedara, the big boot. Ball doesn't find touch as Dilush Kadange collects it and goes straight into contact. Setting things up now, Kandy. Roshan Veeraratne looking for his options. Shabir Mohammed picks and goes from the back. No support to latch him on. Switching directions and Bona Gudangamo just crashing through the Army defense line. Jason Dissanayake once again carrying the ball forward, gains good yardage. Now looking for some free ball. Ashan Darling goes directly towards the post. Roshan Veeraratne inside. Cheeky pass to Bona Gudangamua. Takes the ball inside the 5 meters now. Ever so close. Long cut out pass to Jason Dissanayake, who puts in the offload to Dange. Beats the first 2 defenders. Tries to stretch out and score the try. And beautifully done there by Jason Dissanayake, who scores his hat-trick.
Brilliant stuff by Kandy. And what a pass by Roshan Veeraratne. Almost scored by Gudangamua. But then they drifted out wide. And Jason Dissanayake collects his hat-trick. Brilliant work. And this will now put Army under a tremendous pressure so early in the second half. But the gap is just too big now.
Dissanayake, of course, all over the place. Hisham, brilliant work rate. Scored a wonderful try.
Brilliant work by Jason Dissanayake. And if you're wondering that he has not done pretty much a lot in this game, that he has just finished off some moves, well, you're wrong. He's been doing a lot of hard work off of the rucks, and he's been getting those scoring opportunities simply because he's working hard. He's joining the line, forming the overlap. He's all at the park. Tremendous work rate, and he's been rewarded with 3 tries today. So Kandy now in the lead, 31 points to 12. Army, they know they've got to make sure they score next. If Kandy put another score, it's probably going to be a very long afternoon for the soldiers. Ashan Bandara with the restart. Called in by Udangamua. Still going. Udangamua so strong. Finally brought down. Veeratna sends it out to, that was Shehan Lema standing in first receiver. Here's Ratwat, long carrot pass to Buddhimapia Ratna, trying to use his speed. Finds Danshadayan, just couldn't get the offload. But they'll have to come back because Buddhimapia Ratna has stepped out of play.
Brilliant tackle there by that man, Tomasi. Like I said, he's been a lone soldier for Army, making the tackles, carrying the ball forward, and brilliant call there by the referee as well. Now trying to set things up. Army have possession but still not out of danger in their own half.
Crucial line out for Army. Janaka Lakmal with the throw-in. It's been stolen by Kandy. Army trying to counteract, but that's not legal. Came in from the sides, so it's a penalty to Kandy. Srinath Surya Bandara and Roshan Veeratna, the two scrum halves who are playing in the halves position today as scrum half and fly half in discussion. Ratwata nailing this into touch.
Also,
this time just overcooked.
In the meantime, if you are a numbers geek or a facts and figures geek, the ThePapare Stats is just for you. It has an in-depth look at the Dialog Rugby League and also the Schools League and all domestic international competitions. The stats.thepapare.com has it all. So make sure you go into there to find the right numbers, facts, figures. Also the points table of the Dialog Rugby League and archives. Everything, anything you need is right there.
Back to the game. Army with the scrum. Chamat Fernando with the feed in. Army managed to keep it steady. Ashan Bandar to Tomasi. Lovely decoy and sends the player through. He needs support. Goes through. Still going. Brilliant run by the Army centre. That's number 13.
The try scorer.
Talwata.
What a beautiful move there by Tomasi. He faked 2 passes and now Ashan Bandara had the option to offload, passes the ball to no man's land, and Tomasi once again running laterally tries to force that gap. He has one man to beat and this will be a try for him for sure under the post. Well deserved try for Tomasi. Sparked something out of nothing there, Hisham.
I was so casual. Just sheer strength going through the Army defense. In fact, the Kandy defense and all the way under the post. Brilliant try. Bit of heated exchange between a few Kandy players and the Army players. The referee Jamaldeen wants them separated, but what a try. Sheer individual brilliance by Kaukusau. And Army have a lifeline.
Starting from that ploy in the set piece. This was it. Brilliant backhand pass to Talwata. Talwata still had a lot of work to do. Unfortunate for him, he had one of the best defenders in the league, Tanu Chaturanga, on the outside. So there was no going past him, and this was Ashan Bandar who sliced through that gap and put in a pass to no man's land. Kaksau picked it up And literally nobody in that Kandy line wanted to tackle him. They waited for him, and once again Buddhima Piyaratna sucked in, just didn't commit to that tackle. And Tomasi finishing up under the post. So 19 points they go. 31. If they can repeat a little more of that, they'll be back in this game.
Exactly, Isran. And there was no Kandy player committing to that tackle. He was just going through arms, half-hearted attempts. You're not going to stop a player like Kauksau with that. But Kandy still in the lead, 31 points to 19. They've got nothing to worry about. They just need to make sure they get their composure. And this is what we say, you can't predict the gameplay of teams like Army, Navy, especially when they're hosting a match.
Brilliant attempt to pick that ball up, and now Army Sports Club have another opportunity. Upula Beratna moving forward, and now Ashan Bandara to Tomasi once again, who's caught up by Tarinder Ratwatta, but a high tackle says the referee. So Army Sports Club have a lifeline. This was that tackle by Tarinder Ratwatta which was deemed illegal. Rightfully so. Grabbed on by the neck. Now Madagedara will want to put his team inside the opposition 22. So look for a big boot on it. Good kick. Brilliant kick. Just 5 meters away from the 22. And I think another opportunity for Tomasi to spark his Fijian flair.
Well, yes, Yusran. Just enough. The kick. And Army now with a crucial line out. We reach 50 minutes on our clock. Kandy have been able to smother a few lineouts of the opposition today. And they'll be looking for the same. Shanak Lakmar with the throw. Army do well. Here's Chamat looking for Ashan Bandara, drifting wide. He lays the pass. Brilliant defense by Kandy.
Lavanga Pereira, good tackle on him, and now Danuka Vijay Tilakarada carries the ball forward and looks like he's given away possession, not rolling away. And Kandy will have a penalty advantage. Clearly not happy with that decision, the Army team.
Well, Kandy just get on with it. Fairly decent kick, just to relieve pressure, take some time off. Damit Disanaika with the throw in. But if Kandy do score here, it will leave a lot of distaste among the home support here. Here's Udangamua going through once again. You can't stop him. 1-on-1. Brilliant run by the number 8. Veeratna finds Charles Praveen. This time brought first time. Here's Veeratna to Surya Bandara. Lavanga Pereira goes down. Veeratna assessing his options, finds Charles Praveen. And then Damit Disanaika dropped by Shehan Lema. But backwards says the referee. But the pass is straight to Nalaka Maduranga. And referee says play on. The crowd not happy. They wanted a penalty. Here's Buddhima Piyaratna. Steps back inside. Finds space. Finds the pass to Damit Disanaika. Here's Charles Praveen. Ratwatta finds Udangamu on the wing. This is dangerous. Here's Jason Disanaika. Inside pass to Dangi. Just couldn't hold on to it. And it's a knock forward in the end. And once again, we've been talking about this. Brilliant options, but the passing accuracy is just not the best today from both teams, you could say.
That was a very interesting passage of play. Both teams and both teams taking a hit on each other, and it definitely took a toll on both back lines. There's a bit of stoppage as both teams take a breather now. Bune Gudangamu, Tarindu Ratvatta, Tarindu Chaturanga, all these players committing 100%. And on the other hand, Army Sports Club equally well counter-attacking.
Well, Army still in the game despite conceding those tries. The last try they score through Kaukasau has brought them right back into the game. They've got their tails up, trying to exert some pressure, but it's not easy against this Kandy side. Chamat with the feed in, the ball comes out to Ashan Bandara. Kaukasau cuts back inside, still going Kaukasau looking for support. He's held by the Kandy defense. Now finally brought down eventually. Chamat looking for his players. Long cut out pass, delayed, but still finds the Army player. Gains ground, good work by the Army player, but playing advantage is the referee. Yes, he's called it for a penalty. Just wants to check with the Army players which penalty they'll want. It's easy to see Army using Kaukasau to good effect, but he just needs the support to arrive a little bit quicker if they are to make any impact. That's a good kick. Gains about 30 meters, brings Army into their half.
So like I said earlier, a lot depends on the way Tomasi Kaukasau performs, Hisham, if Army are to go ahead. And I think the Army team is being a little bit too dependent on the Fijian.
Well, yes, and the lack of support, I think, is just creating problems, because if you're depending on him, you've got to make sure you execute those moves to perfection. If you're not, you're going to fall in trouble.
I think that's what police is doing right there, supporting Imosi very well, and hence the back line has that flair which we don't see the Army team possess. Nevertheless, wins the line out and now forming that rolling maul. Doesn't go much forward. Opts to go for the back line now once again. Tomasi tries to fend off one, pushed away, and now on his own backhand pass. Now Usuruma Tekedara has Danushka Talvati on the outside. Opts to hold on to the ball. And now Chamat Fernando. Sudhar Dikumbura in fact goes straight into contact as Vijay Thilaka hammered on the ground there by Tarindu Radvatta. Ashan Bandara trying to force a gap in that Kandy line, but Kandy just too strong, and they win a penalty as the Army team commit another unforced error.
Simply what Army did not want to do or should not have done, concede possession after trying to build some momentum. Referee trying to have a word with the Army skipper. I think it's about talking back at the referee. And Kandy once again with an opportunity to relieve pressure, to get out of jail. Srinath Surya Bandara taking up the kicking duties once again. And as we reach the 56th minute, now comes the fitness factor. How much gas they've got left on the tank. Some of the Army players look tired, hands in their hips. And this is where the replacements come into play. And just as we say, here we go, Ganuka Disanaika enters the field. And also Lasita Attangara, so the prop forwards. The starting props have done their job. It's time for the replacements, and my goodness, Ganuka Disanaika and Lasita Attangara, two very capable replacements, you could say.
Definitely, they were members of the starting 15 in the past few weeks, but coming off the bench today, Cleanly taken there by Shayan Patirana. And Army lose possession once again. And the referee says no obstruction because the soldiers didn't join that maul. There you go. The soldiers not joining that maul or committing to it. Hence deemed obstruction by the referee. I think brilliant call there. And scrum down now in favor of Army Sports Club. An opportunity to counter now.
The ball was transferred to the back. Had they not, Kandy would have had an opportunity. Regardless of it, is Army now back again with possession. Shamat with the feed in. Good pressure by Kandy, but the ball is still with Army. Lovely inside pass. Looked a bit flat, but still play on, says the referee. Here's Ashan Bandara looking out for Kaukasau, who stands in deep, cuts inside.
Still on his feet. Gains every possible inch he can. Shamat feeding his forwards now, barking instructions. Brilliant tackle on him by Bona Gudangamo, so strong on his feet. Ashan Bandara, long cutout pass to Tusita Sena Nayaka. Manages to wobble it off, and Sudarak Dikumbura cut back inside, keeping the ball alive. Slowly but surely gaining good yardage. Ashan Bandara spots the hole and puts in a very floated pass to Tomasi, who tries to look for support, holds on to clear possession, presents the ball quite well. Good continuity of play here by Army Sports Club, but a brilliant tackle on him by Tarindu Chaturanga, who has been outstanding in defense. Ashan Bandara to Dikumbura once again. Good pass to Tusita Sena Nayaka, who goes on the ground. It looks like they will have an advantage coming. And the referee will call back play for an infringement spotted by the AR. I think it was a high tackle, high shot on Tusita Sena Nayaka. If we could take another look at that.
Well, the referee did say play on. Here we go. Ashan Bandara to Dikumbura. So it was a high shot. The referee did rightly signal it to the referee, but you can't blame the referee there because he did not see the referee at that, his assistant at that time. But once he did, he called back play.
But in Suri's defense, Tusita Sena Nayaka was almost down to his knee level. And Srinath Surya Bandara will be yellow carded. So Army now with a numerical advantage in their hand as well. And on the other side, at Police Park, Havelock Sports Club are down to 14 men, but this time around for them, he's not coming back after 10 minutes. It's a red card. And Police are ahead 27 points to 16.
Well, Police are looking to do the double over Havelocks for the first time, I think, in quite some time. Brilliant kick there. Army right into the red zone.
I think Isuru Madagedara has been outstanding with his boot today. Slotted in a very difficult conversion from the corner. And now with the touch finders as well earlier on the game, he's been pretty decent. A very reliable kicker and an golden opportunity for Army Sports Club to go back with some points and come back into the game. First things first, not done right, as they lose possession. Cardinal error there by the number 5, Nalan Premanath, senior campaigner, knocks the ball forward.
Well, Kaukasawa is talking to his forwards. telling them not to forget the basics, keep things tight, and not give away opportunities like that.
And if you've not got Dialog View, the View app, I think you're missing out on a lot, because it's Sri Lanka's largest video collection with no data charges. How good is that? You can watch any video you want with no data charges. So it's available on Google Play and also the App Store. So make sure you download it. You can watch the Dialog Rugby League games as well. So line out now. Scrum rather deep inside Kandy's half, so they'll have to clear the ball. But they are a confident team, so they might as well run it from there. But they are lacking a player, so the safest option is to go for touch. They could clear it out on the full. They're inside the 22. Roshan Veeraratne feeds the ball to Dilusha Dange, who goes straight into contact. And now Ratwata with the clearance. A decent kick. Right on the 22. Still not too far for Army Sports Club. Brilliant opportunity for them. Kakasau talking to his forwards, just asking them to get the basics right. First things first, you win the line out, and then you pass the ball to Mirad.
Well, like you said, Yusran, Army are still in it, but they just need to make sure they've got to score. They messed up the line out on the previous occasion. They've got to score within the next, I say, 5 minutes. Also, to make sure they can exert some pressure on Kandy. But so far, Kandy are managing just enough. Chamat needs to get this. He didn't take it out. The crowd not happy. Wants to have a word with his assistant referee. I think it's about the crowd.
The Army players definitely not happy with anything that's happening on the field right now. But they're all pumped up.
A lot of emotion out there, a lot of tension, friction, but they've got to manage this. If, from Army's point of view, they've got to use this emotion and just make sure they get the basics right.
They need to channel it to the right areas. Big tackle on Dilusha Dange, trying to hold him up. Manages to go to ground, and Tarinder Ratwate now with a big kick. Brilliant kick.
What a kick. Brilliant. Just takes play completely from their 22. Bangs a worldie. And then brings back play right onto Army's 22.
Brilliant kick, Hisham. And all of a sudden now Kandy with the momentum. Forming that rolling maul. Army Sports Club moving forward, brought down. Couldn't stay strong on his feet, and now Chamat from the base puts it high under. Sudhara Dikkumbura goes chasing, and I think completely misjudged his timing with the tackle. that.
Well, interesting
Slow
to see
motion.
whether if Sudarok actually tackled the player or was it just a 50-50 where both players went on to fight for possession. Here we go. Good high hanging kick. Well, I think that's a yellow.
I think that's a yellow as well.
He didn't show any enthusiasm to go for the ball. He just went straight into the man and brought him down. So this should be a yellow card. He did time his run very well, but he should have gone for the ball. Instead, he just went towards the man. So this should be a yellow card. There you go. So both teams down to 14 men. But from Army's point of view, that'll be a massive loss. They've lost a crucial player.
So now both teams equal in numbers, but definitely Kandy with the upper hand, especially with the quality of players they possess. Another line out in favor of the visitors. So far in this second half, it's been quite silent in terms of rugby, Hisham. Although there's been a lot of tension and friction within the Army fans and the Army team, they've not been able to spark things up so far. Cleanly taken by Jason Dissanayake, and now stolen by Chamath Fernando, who wins possession for his team. Henry Terence is in the field, I think making a comeback to his rugby career.
So the player cum coach now can control things better, you would say?
Definitely using his expertise quite well to marshal the forwards and also knock some sense into the backs. Undoubtedly the most experienced player now in that Army jersey, Dhanush Dayan, trying to go straight through. Big tackle on him by the fresh legs in the park. Ratwata spots space at the back, takes his time. Brilliant kick into space inside the 22.
Well, brilliant stuff there by Ratwata. He's just controlling the game so far.
I think he's doing the right thing, Hisham. Playing it to their own pace. I think that's what he's doing. Looking for space, putting in the kicks, and also just not rushing in or showing any sense of urgency, which is what ideally Army should be doing.
Exactly. Proper game management. Just making sure that they don't open up the game, giving opportunities to Kaukasau and the other Army runners to get a hold of this game. Instead, he's just banging in those kicks, pinning his opposition inside their own half. So they've got to make sure they win the line out, and then at this point of game, it's a moment where they can't clear their lines. They've got to run with it, but they've got no option to clear because of the pressure by Kandy.
Yeah, definitely. And also, if you have not subscribed the ThePapare.com YouTube channel by now, you definitely should, and you're missing out on quite a lot. We've got tons of sports content for you. So visit the ThePapare official on YouTube. And don't forget to click on the bell icon as well.
So Kaukasau, well, takes a tap. There's a free kick. Does find a lot of space, but then Dange fumbling with it. So now Army find themselves inside the Kandy half.
These are the kind of unforced errors that you shouldn't commit, especially at this point of the game. But Dange, fairly inexperienced player.
Well, I think he wasn't positioned well for him to make that a clean collection. He was always backpedaling. Didn't judge it right. And that has resulted in Army having a scrum just outside the 22. Good position. The clock now at 68 minutes. Army know they've got to make this count. But so far, Kandy have done well, slowing the pace of the game, keeping it tight.
And Kandy now back into full strength. Srinath Suri Bandara finds his way into the 15. So no pressure on Kandy anymore. Army on the other hand, still one man down. So they'll have to be mindful. Chamath Fernando at the back. Collects the ball cleanly. Referee not happy with how the scrum went. He want a re-scrum.
So another opportunity now for Army. The pace of the game has really dried down. Just what Kandy would like. Crucial role for Chamath Fernando to play. Just feel he's been at times slowing the game a bit too much for his teammates' liking. Kaukasau standing in first receiver. Here's Bandara, gets away the first tackle, still with possession. Here's Kaukasau going around. Buddhima Piyaratna somehow manages to get the pass in, but then I think the referee calls it for a knock forward. Kaukasau bemused. Be interesting to see a replay of that. I think the offload was fine. I think it was the collection which was questionable. Here we go. Bandara to Kaukasau. Well, I think it was fine. I think it was right. It looks back because the player was running forward, but seems like he didn't get that offload right. It just fell forward. The referee and the assistant referee were in perfect position, so they know they can judge better than us. Clearly, the Army support not too happy. A lot of decisions going against them. Just what Kandy need, just what they've been doing things, making sure they slow the game down. Viratna with the feed in. Here's Udangama making the break, going lateral. He's still on his feet. Takes 3, 4, 5 players to bring him down. Good 20 meters gain. Viratna now to Ratwatta. Long carrot pass to Dhanshidan. Here's Dange trying to use his pace. Flattened by a tackle there by Kaukasau. Worked in tandem with his wing 3/4. But Kandy still with possession. Ganuka Disanayaka taking it to contact. Viratna on the short side. Here's Ratwatta now to Dhanshidan. Brilliant offload to Lavanga Pereira. Plays the ball. That's fair. That's legal. That's okay. Viratna. Here's Shehan Lema. Patrana finding Ganuka Disanayaka. Slowly but in possession. Brilliantly done. Kandy bringing in play. It's Muhammad Ali, former Antonian. Brilliantly done by Lavanga Pereira. Here's Jason Disanayaka. Good pass to Tarun Chaturanga. There you go. Brilliant try. It took a bit of time for Kandy to go through a few paces, but once they do, Tarun Chaturanga, the hard-working forward, gets a try under his name.
So his good form continues from last week. But talk about that continuity of play by Kandy Sports Club. They knew when to change gears. They knew when to up the tempo. They knew when to slow down. Finally resulting in a try in the near corner. Especially I love how they have two flankers on either sides out there to help the wing. They're playing to a pattern. And it's clearly working for them. So 5 points up, 36 points. This was that final phase of play. Lawanga Pereira just thumping that ball for quick possession, and Tarin Chaturanga foxing his defender in to score that try. And now Tanindra Ratwatta lines up to take the kick. Hits the post. So 36 points it will remain. Just have a little under 10 minutes to go. And Kandy looking really good. Looks like they've secured this game so far.
Will the champions march on? Simple story which has been throughout the season. I think it's just too much now for Kandy, for Army rather, to come back in this game. They have their chances in that second half, but both teams went scoreless and it's just a bit too late. And Kandy now making a few last minute replacements as well, knowing that the match is well and truly wrapped up.
Army Sports Club will have to score thrice as Ashan Bandara put a high hanging kick, collected cleanly there by Tarindu Chaturanga. Kandy swaps Heshan Jansen with the veteran Roshan Viraratna, and Bona Gudangamua still on his feet. Henry Terence trying to hold him up. Tarindu Ratwatta with the clearance. Big kick collected by Dik Kumbura, who's back in the field. Sachin Gamage trying to run the ball forward, but just doesn't find his balance. Kakasau beats the first defender, beats the second, goes straight through, held on by the jersey by Shehan Patirana, but he still needed support. Support should have done better as Ashan Bandar now slices through, has an advantage coming in as well. Brilliant passing the corner. Samath Fernando, he shouldn't have slowed things down. They need to play in this space. They have just very little time remaining as Nalan Premanath looking for support to arrive, but referee will come back to the previous infringement. Offside since the referee quickly taken by Chamath. Now Danuka Vijay Thilaga will carry the ball forward. Ashan Bandara to Tusita Sena Nayaka, who's still on his feet, trying to secure things and set things up for Army Sports Club. The Fijian now with the big fend, still going through, under the post, he will score. Like I said, Hisham, one man show for Army Sports Club. This man is doing all the work.
Brute strength, sheer strength. Kandy just haven't managed to cope with his brutal force, and only if he had a bit more support from his teammates on either side, Army would have been able to make a much more bigger game of this. But I think that's just a consolation try, you would say. I think it's just a bit too late now for Army to upset the apple cart. They've got to take this conversion soon if they are interested in trying to at least score another try, but in fact the referee is having a word with one of the Army players. That is what the delay is all about.
I think it's a message from the referee to the captain to advise his bench not to provoke any wrong or any negative energy to the game.
Well, he's not the most popular man here. at Welisara at the moment, referee Jamaldeen. But I think you could say it's just that when you're at the receiving end, you feel all the calls are going against you.
Definitely. So far, I think he's done a good job in this game. But Army Sports Club and their fans just not liking it.
So another change for Kandy, emptying their bench. Ratwata with the restart. A 10-point deficit. Just 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes on our clock.
And I think it's time we chose our player of the match as well. Dialog view player of the match, Hisham. A few players have raised their hands today. Taniu Chaturanga is one of them. Jason Disanayaka, another key player. But these are the kind of errors that Army Sports Club will have to be kicking themselves for.
Just summing up Army's day, Army's performance. Coming back to the man of the match, I think is Ron. And then Jason Disanayaka runs away with it for me. He did score a hat-trick, and I think even that try scored by Chaturanga, the last pass was by Jason Disanayaka, who gets the assist. So I think he is my man of the match. What do you think?
Definitely, I was going to say he raised his hand up and he set the bar there. So a Dialog view, player of the match for this game, Jason Disanayaka. And also, on the other side, you can get your brand recognized with Sri Lanka's number one sports hub, ThePapare.com. What better place to advertise your product or your service? All you have to do is call Modita on the number in your screen or email him at modita.veerasingh@dialog.lk. So we've got a platform set for you. All you've got to do is show us your product or service and we'll bring it out throughout the island.
So into the final few minutes in this game. Kandy with position, Heshan Johnson, the replacement scrum half. Kandy, the perfect platform to add another try into their account. Johnson finds Ratwata, straight to Lavanga Pereira, inside pass to Dancha Dayan. Brought first time, Johnson once again to Ratwata. Here's Surya Bandara, cheeky punt ahead. Buddhima Priyaratna collects it but just couldn't ground the ball.
It was that man once again, Tomasi, making that all-important tackle, preventing Kandy from scoring another try. Let's take another look at that. Surya Bandara rather saw the space, put in that cheeky kick, but Tomasi just right on his man. Could possibly be the last play of the game.
Just amazing. They make things so easy. This Kandy outfit. They grind out results. And the scoreline sometimes is flattering. You just can't put into words how much work they put into each game. They grind out a win throughout the season. The only unbeaten team.
Yeah, I think they have a lot to do with being a championship winning team. I think they made it a habit not to lose games. And I think that's why it makes them so good at what they do.
And I think it's just mentality. Because when they play games away, they've got to travel, especially to Colombo. Whereas you can see a lot of Colombo clubs, they falter these games which you expected them to win. They struggle a lot. But Kandy, because they travel, they know it's a crucial game. Even a game against a struggling outfit, a bad result could hamper their chances of winning the league title. Here's Surya Bandara, finds Danchadayan, lovely offload. Here's Lavanga Pereira, he's got a man outside but tries to go himself. Still with possession. And that's another penalty for Kandy. Buddhima Piratna wants to take it quick. Forwards just want to slow things down.
Definitely, they played their heart out. They played flat out for the 80 minutes, and now I think it's only right if they slow things down and play at their own pace.
So if the icing wasn't good enough, Kandy are just trying to add the cherry on the cake now. Surely it's the final passage of play. Jansen with the feed in.
And I think it's brilliant player management by Fazil Maruja as well. He knew when to substitute the players, when not to. It's brilliant from the coaching department as well. So I think it's an all-round performance by Kandy Sports Club, leading them to a 10th week of an unbeaten run.
Exactly. I think that's what makes them so special. As a club, they run so well off the field as well. The administration is perfect. Player welfare they set the bar. And off the field, the results deliver. So Jansen with another feed in. Kandy eager just not to kick it out of touch, but to try and score another try here. And this can bring that points to 40. Once again, not steady with the scrum. So it's another scrum.
I think the forwards, at this point, the forwards would want Jansen to just kick the ball out and finish this game. And at Police Park, the Police Sports Club have made it 2-2, so beating Hellwork Sports Club both rounds. 34 points to 28 is how that game ended. And we're yet to see the final score here at Welisara as Bonagudang Gamwa carries the ball forward inside the 5 meter now. Yaqub Ali trying to barge his way through, doesn't find any space. Suri to Tharindra Ratvatta. Buddhima Piyaratna slices through. Does he have the gas to go through? Inches short now. Surya Bandara to Yaqub Ali, who knocks it forward. And I think that'll be it as referee Akil Zamaldin blows the final whistle to end the game as Kandy secure an easy victory. But a hard fought battle by Army Sports Club. 26 points to 36 is how this game ended, with Kandy going unbeaten 10 weeks in a row. A big feat for the team, but not an unusual feat.
The Sailors, the Cops, the Reds, Havelocks, CHNFC, week in, week out, teams come up against this champion outfit. But Kandy just tick themselves with a win at the end of the day. They just steamroll, and this league title, they've just been a cut above the rest in a league of their own. And once again, by the end of the day, it's 36 points to 26. Another win for Kandy, unbeaten in round 2. Of they inch week by week to another league title.
But also comparing both rounds, the first round encounter and this, you could see that Army has improved a lot, and I think the home advantage has given them the upper hand in that as well, because the first game ended 64 points to 19, I'm not mistaken, but this time around 26 points to 36 is not that bad if you look at it from a neutral point of view.
Well, yes, I think, and especially playing at home, I think helps as well. So I think that was a crucial factor. Here we go, the second half highlights. This was Jason Disanaika, just a few minutes into the half, scoring that try, and this was a brilliant try as well. The initial break set up by Kaukosao, and then he ended up finishing off this move.
He makes it look so easy. His physicality, his flair, and his game awareness, I think he brings all of that into play when he has the ball in hand. And you could also tell that the local players, they have that mindset that these Fijian players are quite unstoppable.
Well, yeah, I think in the other side of it is here we go. This is a try by Talung Chaturanga. set up by Jason Dissanayake. But I think the other side of it is when you play amongst these players, when you play against them, I think it helps you build confidence. And this is the second try by Kaukasau. Simply brute force right under the post. That was a brilliant try indeed. One-man army, you could say. Certainly by the way things turned out for his team today. And then if there was any hope of a comeback, it was not to be. So there you go. Full-time scores here from Welisara. 36 points to 26. Here we got the scorecard. 4 tries by Army to Kandy's 6. And Kandy, both teams converting only 3. And Jason Dissanayake deservedly 3 tries and assist, man of the match. So that's it. Well, just before we leave you, tomorrow an interesting battle, Navy versus CHNFC. That's going to be an interesting affair. Yoshita Rajapaksa back in the Navy lineup as well. They came back with an interesting performance last week. And this will be the week 11 fixtures. Police taking on Air Force, Havelocks versus CHNFC, Navy versus Kandy at Welisara here, and Army also hosting CRNFC that week. So that's it from the production team here at Welisara. On behalf of Yusran and myself and the production team, have a great evening. Good night.
අලු සීටිකක් දැම්මන නරකයි.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
සර් සර්ගේ පේමන්ට් එක සෙටල් කරන්න තියෙනවා.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න.
දෙකෙන් දෙන්න නම් දෙකෙන් ගන්න ඕනේ. Whatever the need, a Ceylon personal loan will be ready for you in just 2 days.
Ceylon personal loan කිව්වා වගේම වැඩ.
Ceylon Bank, the bank with the heart.